The Lord's Day of TeD Cup number 10, Group B. It's all a little weird. We started with C, then we go to B, then we go to whatever. It's all a little like out of the ordinary, but Group B is insane because we got Happy, we got FoCuS, we got Chemical, we got 15 Sway, and we got the Demo Man.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately yesterday I missed our first half of the TeD Cup there, but today I'm glad to be back, and I'm sure so are all of you guys. We talked about it already 2 days ago at the beginning of the group stage. This is it. This is the group. This is the group of death. This could very well be the semifinals of any given tournament. Happy, FoCuS, 15 Sway, and Chemico. 4 of the best players in the world meeting here, battling for the 2 spots. We're going to have 5 best of 3s again today, and what I am sure is going to be full of amazing Warcraft.
Oh yeah, and it's already started, so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is the bracket of the day. We got Happy versus FoCuS first, then 15 Sway versus Chemico. We got all races represented, and we got all regions almost represented, except the Americas. So, oh, here's the bracket, guys. I forgot to click the button to show you. But anyway, FoCuS versus Happy. I think this match needs no introduction, right? So here you guys, Happy, the current DreamHack World Champion. FoCuS in maybe a little bit of a slump. He was definitely disappointed to not make it to Rara Land, but maybe it's time for redemption. Maybe it's time to cause an upset, and a win against Happy would definitely be such an upset.
Start off strong here with the FoCuS harass. This is of course what the orcs nowadays have to do. They have to slow down the DK. There's no way you can just allow him to creep for free. I would say especially on this map, right? Where you can go orange, green into natural, and that's a fast level 3. This must not be allowed. Happy's trying to get those levels fast, especially a quick level 2 is always a big help. Makes things easier with the aura. Investing a lot of ghoul time to do this, so the advantage for FoCuS here now is the tech. Much faster on his way to tier 2.
Exactly. Thank you, by the way, Dado, for the sub. It is September, so subs are a little cheaper. Get him in there, boys. Coil had to be used defensively, which is not necessarily what you want. Almost lasted. That's level 2 for Happy guaranteed, and almost as rather FoCuS as well. Action-packed early game, Remo.
Yeah, that was a close call right there. Happy slightly off with the calculation. Not something that normally happens to him too much. There was a tiny window for FoCuS to punish that small mistake, but didn't quite find. This would have been a big deal, honestly. All these experience points here are very important. And the FoCuS didn't get too much. He had only 24. That's 2 skellies. This is looking like a good early game so far for Happy, especially if he should get that level 3 soon, which FoCuS is still trying to prevent.
Yeah, Happy as always every weekend, coming fresh from a win in the Weekly Cup versus DICE once more. We really have to shuffle up these seeds to get the best of 5 of Happy versus Grubby. I'm working on it. So Happy also mana management wise, very, very good. He has 4 coils remaining, and he's moving north already to steal some camps away.
This was scouted by FoCuS. He knows it's coming, and he's adjusting to possible tier 2 pressure with a second tier O, Shadow Hunter. Not TC like we see most of the time, but rather Shadow Hunter, which is something that Happy himself did in the past when playing off-race as Orc. Ran across the entirety of Concealed Hill just to creep the green camp here. This took some good time for the Russian, but it's a safe camp he can take without any problems.
Exactly. No problems here except like half health on the DK. Uh-oh, first aggressive coil. The shop isn't finished yet. FoCuS has to get out of the danger zone as quickly as possible. And Happy on a straight way to level 3. Almost getting a headhunter here, but FoCuS on top of his game as well. Putting some more chip damage in, saving the headhunters as I say it. And now there's a Shadow Hunter. And now all of a sudden, there's Hex.
There's hardly any additional damage though. There's no Chain Lightning, there's no headhunters around. It's only the Hex and the Wolves. And that's not quite enough to force the TP yet. Trying to get a surround here again. Doesn't quite work out. The surrounds so far not perfect as Happy would like them. It's gonna be first blood grab, if you will, from the Orc finally here as 1 ghoul goes down, but the DK healing at the fountain is not gonna be woken up here. The creeps, the wolves expire, and that's some juicy healing for Happy.
Oh man, that's absolutely perfect. Saves the resources for the Ritual Dagger, saves the way home for the Ritual Dagger. And this looks like a fantastic game for Happy thus far, but FoCuS, he never gives up, keeps on fighting until the last minute, even though the early game wasn't too great. 2 headhunters hurt, FoCuS hurt, both heroes underleveled. That Hex has to do some work now.
Did he lose a headhunter in the early game? I didn't see one going down, but he's only got 3. This is a very low amount. Creep speed with that also slowed down. We have a Wyvern now coming out to help with that. But you know, normally it's the mass headhunter build. At the moment we only have 3, not exactly what we would call mass.
FoCuS, he doesn't have much on the battlefield yet, but he has a 6-minute 30 tier 3 tech done. That's insane.
It's pretty crazy. I like that a lot. It's very important to get those hero levels up nice and quick for all 3 heroes. Not just the first 2 are level reliant, like on the undead side, with Lich and the DK mostly need levels, but also the 3rd hero, TC, in other cases, Shadowhunter, will need some levels. So that 3rd hero needs to be started soon. The lumber is missing right now for FoCuS. Where'd all the lumber go?
In the tech, I guess, plus the Berserker upgrade, plus the End-Snare upgrade. But yeah, next Headhunter down, Raider is coming in. End-Snare should be ready soon. But man, this is major losses. Here's the Berserker. Nice attack by Happy right before the Berserker upgrade finishes. That's a problem now.
Yeah, of the 2 Headhunters that there were, or 3 rather, of the 3 that there were, only 2 survive. This is... Okay, I was raving about the build. Maybe it's a bit of a riskier build than I thought. I always like to see a fast tier 3 tech. I always like to see lots of hero levels being crept on the orc side. But it comes at a price. You have a smaller army out. You can creep much slower only. You're going to be under more danger in case of pressure. And this game is looking very rough now for FoCuS. Yeah, he got a fast tier 3. That's true. He got a fast Berserker upgrade. But he only has 2 Berserkers left. And even with the fast tier 3, the TC wasn't even that quick. Maybe this build... showing a few issues here.
And also issues with the Ogre. Oh, no, not trying to lure him into the tavern. That's finally some time to creep, which FoCuS desperately needs for the hero levels. Oh, he slips through. Or does he? Okay, second try. And there we go. Warsong Battle Drums. Not what he wanted, obviously. But hey, it's something.
Yeah, Happy in the meantime got a good level up there as well on 2 of his heroes from the lab level 3 and 2. Happy now seems very fight ready as soon as he picks up the Dark Ranger. A little bit of a macro mistake there, though I believe on the undead side the Ziggurat number 4 was forgotten for quite some time. So stuck at 40 for a good amount at the moment, but Happy can still go for upgrades. Frenzy coming, Destroyer form, throw in a Dark Ranger, and he's gonna be very scary.
Yeah, FoCuS is shaking a little bit. Kodo upgrade is...
In his boots? Shaking in his boots?
Yeah, but he doesn't have some in the inventory, so I don't know in what boots he's shaking in.
Maybe he just has some standard boots to go with. If he has those, he might indeed be shaking in those at the moment, because this is a scary kind of game. I mentioned earlier how the orc hero levels are certainly needed in the late game. Those heroes are level reliant, and at the moment what we're seeing is not so confidence instilling. Farseer level 2, whatever, only a Farseer, but the Shadow only level 2 himself, and the TC doesn't even have level 2 yet for the Storm. FoCuS needs to creep up fast to get those spells unlocked.
Alright. This is the red spot for Happy. Soapy Mask for Happy as well. Not too bad at all. Everything's healthy. So many ghouls remaining. I like that FoCuS is going for reinforced defenses, because Happy is probably lining up an attack. Old school undead push into orc bases. Get rid of burrows, win the game with that. That will save him some time. At the second red spot, he gets the Scourge Bone Chimes. Not the perfect jobs thus far, as there's barely any melee in an orc army, contrary to, I don't know, 2008 or something. It's 14 years ago. I feel old now. Anyway, potion on the TC is kind of nice, but he needs another potion. He needs the Invo potion.
Should be able to pick that up in a moment. He's going to get more experience here as well. Shadow 103 would be wonderful. Happy has had a pretty clean game so far, but I feel like he maybe missed a bit of an opportunity, right? After creeping the middle, after getting the Dark Ranger and his tier 3 upgrades, he was looking very strong indeed, and could have perhaps forced the issue by forcing a fight, but Happy fell back and wanted to creep up more. I've sometimes faulted him a bit for passivity in this matchup, and I think that might be a tiny bit of a mistake here as well.
Okay. FoCuS had 800 gold, and if an orc has more than 600 gold, this is a pretty clear indicator of what's happening. And what's happening, you see it on the upper left-hand side. Tiny Great Hall. And the levels are getting there. FoCuS closing in on 333 as the TC is almost creeping solo. Talisman for him, tankiness always appreciated. Peon slide pretty much in time as well. And all of a sudden we get a 2-base, 1-base situation.
Yeah, if this one runs long enough, this could work out very well indeed. It is a bit of a risk by FoCuS. He didn't know where Happy was, how close he was to an attack. If Happy had been at 60 supply already and would have sprung the trap right there as the Tiny came down, the game would probably be over. But FoCuS willing to take the risk. If this game keeps on going for 2, 3, maybe 4 more minutes, this should be his win condition. But now Happy's finally moving north, ready for the first big assault.
Let's go then. 333 heroes, supply pretty even. That's the fight. Utility items incredible for both of the players. Invo potions, heal scrolls, heal potions, everything available. And Happy keeping the ring +4 on the DK. I really like that. Usually when the DK falls, Happy taps out. That shall not happen here. And now let them brawl, Remo.
FoCuS saw his attack coming early with the Sentry Watch, probably checked the items as well. The TC looking for the big stomp. Happy's gonna try to keep the ghouls away from the TC while still putting out as much damage as he can. First Raider could have been called no, but there it is. Silence on the TC. Can't use the stomp at the moment. The web perfectly on the Wyvern. Oh my god, these Wyvern instantly taken out. A lot of DPS going down. Heal scroll use as well on Happy. Levels up to level 4. The DK now even stronger. Ghouls are falling swiftly. But guess what? There's replacements coming in with the Dark Ranger, the Black Arrow. More and more skeletons are being raised, and they're also soaking up quite some damage. We have to remember, this Orc army has to be on A-click all the time. Stomp and Devour. There we go. That was a good sequence for FoCuS, but he's losing Berserkers fast. And skeletons being raised at the same time. The Nova in the back was beautiful. Destroyer going down. Both sides losing a lot of units. Mana being drained. This is where the statues come in, and the Skelly Snowball doesn't just begin, but it's already begun. Speed scroll used, chasing for more. FoCuS though, still with quite a bit of army left here. Maybe he can repel the invaders.
Oh, maybe he's doing a mistake here. DK FoCuS, he was half HP, but there was a big potion. Yoink on the Destroyer. Happy is running out of steam fast as we get more and more reinforcements for FoCuS. This fight looks pretty tremendous for him. If the Shadowhunter survives that, he has a heal potion still. Stomp on absolutely everything that Happy has left. And these skeletons will expire soon. Heal wave, is it ready? Don't think so. Shadowhunter down. But what about this army? Can the army make up for it? FoCuS, if he survives, that's still a 2-base, 1-base situation, trying to force a town portal somehow. But without Hex, that's difficult. There's one more stomp, and that has to be the money stomp.
Happy's definitely trading better here. He lost a lot of units himself, but he's getting more kills. TC now stomped. Can he force that TP? Finally, this Death Knight is definitely tanky. The ring was a big help. Coil flies, DK down. Triple level 4 all of a sudden. The Death Knight in trouble still. There is no chain lightning, but there is a fountain to heal at, which is a godsend right now. Happy, waiting for the statues. Big mistake. Not remaking statues for a really long time.
Gets 2 more headhunters though, a couple of them denied. Fiends are eaten level 4 on both of the Orc heroes. Solo experience for them. 70 seconds till the Shadowhunter is back, and we have this banger match that we expected at the beginning of the day. 4 heroes on almost both sides. What about the shop control? Invo potion goes to FoCuS.
Happy now finally producing again. He had lots of gold there for a while. Makes it to the shop. Heal scroll invuln for him as well. Even unsummoning Ziggurat at home at the moment. The Nerob to get more resources in. Happy knows, of course, he has to stop this expansion. Going towards the peons, takes out a couple of them right away. That's more skellies. FoCuS re-engages, but without his healer.
The storm just a tad too late. Chain lightning hits ghouls, and the skeletons, of course, gets rid of the normal damage. But he's losing so much control. Where's the crowd control for FoCuS? No Raider anymore. Still big trouble to get the Shadowhunter back. Coil misses.
It's kind of a big deal. The TC is also in trouble, has to eat the heal potion right away, so has the mana potion left over, but what he doesn't have is a ring. So in fact, FoCuS fire is really painful onto the TC. The Death Knight, he's out of potions, but he's got the Sobi mask. This is also where the Sobi comes in clutch. TC in the front line. Stomp once again, takes out one Fiend at least, going for the statues at the same time. FoCuS trying to force away this pesky undead.
Heal wave is necessary. Supply lead for FoCuS is massive, but do not underestimate the undead heroes ever. Dark Dark Ranger almost out of mana here. Not even the mana for Black Arrow, but the statue is providing that. FoCuS, one more round of defense and then it should be his. Invo Potion, Mana Potion, Shadow Hunter back. Shadow Hunter needs mana too though. But it seems like for Happy, 3 heroes and a statue are enough.
Happy's also bought some time for himself with the peon kills. TC going for the hero kill in the Death Knight. He's in trouble. Hex could be coming in. Destroyer morph perfectly in time.
Nope.
Happy saw it coming. Now the TC himself. He's in trouble. And he goes down. No potion there anymore. Couldn't go for the heal, but Happy still has to TP out. Chain Lightning, Dark Ranger. Maybe the return kill. Oh, it is enough. Right click. The Chakram flies from the Shadow Hunter. That's level 4 for him. Arguably the bigger hero kill for Happy, but he got lots of experience. Going for the Tavern Res on the DR should have... Oh, absolutely does not have the resources, excuse me, but he does have level 4 on the DK, and that is very dangerous level.
There we go. TC dying with an Invo Potion on him. That's not supposed to happen. Imagine he presses that button. 7 seconds, and then the fight should be his. FoCuS very well at marking. No resources anymore. Spend it all on potions. Uses it now. That 1 mana potion. DK is still in trouble. This time, no TP.
Ensnares flying absolutely everywhere. TC in the front line. Wonderful stomp. The Invo Potion is still available. And this could be the win now for FoCuS on map 1. It is! Happy calls for the GG. Finally, FoCuS at the expansion. And it's the 1-0 lead for the Korean. After a really rough early game, FoCuS brings it back. And Happy, I think he only has himself to blame. I think the big mistake really was being too passive on the early tier 3 stages.
I agree. He could have closed out this game probably. Relatively easy, as you said, at that very timing. Precise timings, incredibly important in Warcraft 2022. But yeah, he was a little complacent, a little too willing to creep, a little too stubborn on the high level heroes, and FoCuS was a shaky, was a greedy build. But it worked out in the end because Happy allowed that to work. And also, like this expo timing and the first defense, game winning.
Yeah, FoCuS definitely getting away with a bit of greed there. Happy, I think he has to step up his scouting game and be more ready to take a fight earlier on. And I feel like he really wasted a bit of time there as well in the late game, creeping the green camps, clearing out the natural, not taking control of the map the way he could have. Like I mentioned earlier, around 50 supply with those levels he had, with Destroyer and Frenzy upgrade, it's huge upgrades to the army of the Undead at those timings, and he could have forced a fight against 2-1 Orc heroes. There was no Stomp. There was no level 2 heal wave. This is where, in my opinion, Happy leaves most on the table nowadays in this matchup. Just, you know, taking control early, like he so often does, but then stepping back and just creeping and giving the Orc time to recover. It's hard to nitpick and find those mistakes by Happy in his play, but if there are some, I would say it is those.
This was Concealed Hill though, so probably one of the best Orc maps we have in the pool. FoCuS takes it, the map to take if you're up against Happy in this very matchup. But yeah, we promised some great games and these guys deliver. Yesterday, Remo, I know you probably didn't see the games yet, but they weren't too great. I was a little disappointed, except the last one, maybe. That was fine. But apart from that, a lot was left on the table. But today, we get the comeuppance for that. We get the reward for that. Dude, Group D. I'm very excited for that. So, how will the Emperor strike back?
How does he do that, indeed? Is it going to involve a lightsaber? Is it going to involve a parental reveal? Dude, imagine. Happy tells us, by the way, I'm becoming a father. And we're like, oh my goodness! He is striking back. The Emperor, he will need to here if he wants to stay alive in the upper bracket. Of course, there is a safety net. As you guys all know, we have a lower bracket still here. We're going to have one player advancing through the upper and one through the lower bracket. But yeah, Happy getting the table turned on him there on map 1. He had a big lead for a long time. This is probably something he's going to have in mind now. Play solid again early on, but don't let it slip like he did before.
Yeah, you mentioned the lower bracket. Of course, there is a lower bracket here in the GSL-style groups, but do you want to find yourself in a lower bracket with Chemico and 15 Sway? I don't think so. I wouldn't want that. It's the group of death. It's a gruesome group, and yeah, it's time for Happy to take the first W of the day.
It's going to be the standard here once again. No deviation there so far. Thank you, by the way, Mount 7 Weasel with a 27-month resub, and TSEOG 626 with a 10-month resub. Much appreciated. This map, I would say, one of the tougher ones for ghoul openings, though. On many maps, getting a level 3 is pretty easy, if you're left alone especially, but even if you're pressured a bit here, I think it's a bit of a different story. The first 2 green camps are easy to take, but beyond that, everything can be harassed by the orc fairly well, and those creeps camps aren't as easy to creep, as on some other maps. They fight back, those nasty buggers.
Oh yeah, they do. So let's see how both play around it. FoCuS once again on the way, but no instant harass this time. Rather going for creeping.
And a 2-burrow tech as well, so it's going to be greatly slower of a tech compared to before, where we had this crazy fast tier 2 and then later tier 3 rush. Interesting. Last Refuge has tons of creeps. It is not exactly the biggest map we have in the pool, but there are tons of creeps everywhere. Very high creep density. Maybe he wants to make sure he doesn't give away too much to the opponent by having a slower tech, and even if he delays his tech, there might still be enough creeping left to be done for the late game for the second and third hero. Seems to make sense, but it also means that Happy is a very happy camper indeed at the moment, because he can just creep to his heart's content.
Claws for him, nice. But can he get that Murloc? FoCuS is around the corner, or will he have to invest a coil? Doesn't even need it. Mantle of Intelligence as well as the perfect drops for Big Demi, and not even too much damage on ghouls, but that was a steal by FoCuS. Good lasted.
Yeah, nicely done. Not just with the FoCuS, but the Wolf also there. The Wolves getting involved. Level 2 acquired for Happy though, and doesn't give up another nice.
Zebra Surgeon with a 10 euro dono. Love all the streams. Thanks Remo, Neo, and Carson.
Thank you, my man. Very generous of you. Yeah, we're going to be back tomorrow with more TeD Cup. It's going to be the final group A, surprisingly, to get us towards the second group stage then. FoCuS looking for more last hit steals. If he gets one more, he's going to have Chain Lightning as well. And he's got lots of Headhunters now to fight with. Flirting with the idea of a surround, but Happy, again, doesn't quite get it. These surrounds haven't quite landed as perfectly as he would have liked.
And Wolves are doing an incredible damage, putting pressure on the DK. This time, of course, we have no fountain, but what we got is a replenishment potion in the inventory of Happy. Picked that up with a little bit of a risk. Wait a minute, he's going back. What the hell?
Ooh.
GG. Happy loses a game in 4 minutes, 15 seconds.
Yeah, I know. Seemed triggered there. Very unfortunate timing there for Happy. He was trying to save the ghoul to prevent the last hit, but the FoCuS gets the last hit, gets level 2, and gets the Chain Lightning and finds the kill. He had some time there to TP out and save his hero, but didn't do that. With the replenish, he could have healed up after. That was a pretty big mistake. For Happy standards, well, good thing for him is we got a lower bracket still.
Yeah, good luck with that though. Was it a spike? Was he doing something else? An uncharacteristic mistake? A Happy series that is over in 24 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Alright, FoCuS. We were wondering how good his shape was going to be coming into today. Map number 2, not much of an indicator, I'd say. That was over a bit too early. Bit of bad luck there, perhaps. Going Happy's way if it was a spike or something like that. But that is an important win for him for sure. That's going to be a nice jump in the ELO standings as well.
Oh yeah, 2-0. That feels really good. Feels like TeD Cup is not really Happy's tournament. He was eliminated in the group stage there as well when he found himself with 2 elves, if I'm not mistaken, 2 seasons ago. And 15 Sway kicked him out of tournaments before. Also got some maps in show cups against him. Happy cannot be safe. Has to reset his mind. We move on to the second set of the group, and that is quite a banger as well, as we got the classic of China versus Korea in Chemico versus 15 Sway. So who's gonna face FoCuS in the upper bracket, and who has to go down? In an elimination match, versus Happy. We go into a little break after thanking Jay Celerax for the 5 gifted subs. Using that September, subs are 20 to 30% off, so make use of that wonderful month. We're back after I refilled my coffee.